Hello everybody and welcome back to Broken Brand, and today we're going to be talking about a property I haven't thought about in decades, and there's going to be a lot to unpack here for multiple reasons, but we are going to be talking about Rainbow Brite. Now, I grew up with Rainbow Brite. I liked Rainbow Brite. I had, what was it? Rainbow Brite and the Star Stealer. Is that what it was? I had the movie as a kid. I had a Rainbow Brite doll. I grew up with it. I watched it. I enjoyed it. Also enjoyed Care Bears and Strawberry Shortcake and Fraggle Rock and things like that. But it was also, being that age and couldn't admit that to anybody because that got me beaten up more than I already did in elementary school. So I never really said that. But as a full-grown adult, I can finally admit I enjoyed Rainbow Brite. I did. I enjoyed Strawberry Shortcake. I enjoyed all the 80s cartoons. I did. So, Hallmark, who owns the rights to Rainbow Brite, is going to be bringing a new series and movie to fruition. And honestly, I'm excited and very concerned. Obviously, for one major reason, and that's the first word. Rainbow. Now, 20 years ago, I wouldn't have given this a thought. 10 years ago, when apparently they made a miniseries. Didn't even realize they made a miniseries 10 years ago. Don't even know where it was on some small streaming service I never heard of. Back when there was hundreds of just little indie mini streaming services you could sign up for and get on. So I've never seen it. I don't know how good it was at all. But the breadth of this article and others I've read, it's going to be a major release of a show and a major release of the movie. And the only big question is where? Doesn't say. Don't know if it's coming to Disney, Max, Netflix, Peacock, Paramount, Amazon, don't know. But the fact that it is Rainbow Brite is going to open a can of worms, because will it stick to what Rainbow Brite was, and that's just bringing friendship and peace and love to everyone? Or is it going to be full of messaging? I don't know. But the fact that it's Rainbow Brite is the only reason it gives me hesitation. Like, if they've been redoing Strawberry Shortcake stuff for years. I bought several movies for my daughter when she was younger, new animated versions of Strawberry Shortcake. But Rainbow Brite was never one of those ones that has really been populated much throughout the last 40 years. But this year is 2024, which is the 40th anniversary. And they've already geared up that they're going to be releasing toys for the anniversary. And this announcement with their 40th anniversary, that they're going to be doing a new show and TV movie, makes sense. Celebrate the brand that you created. Absolutely. I don't know what we're going to get. But they do have some interesting people attached to it. Where is it? All right. Neil Moritz and Toby Asher. They translated the hit Sonic the Hedgehog games into a successful film franchise, so they've got that. They know how to adapt, and here's why I feel good about that, because I may not know their names like this article says, but Sonic to film was stellar. Is still stellar. The first two movies, wonderful. Knuckles, the series, if it focused more on Knuckles and not his partner in crime, I forget his name now, the cop, it would have been better, because Knuckles was absolutely hilarious in the show, but he's in it about 40%, not 100%. So it's kind of a misnomer. But the show was good. It was interesting. I enjoyed it. Just wasn't as good as the movies. It just wasn't. But the movies are amazing. And yeah, the kids and I are going to go see the third one for sure. In theaters, absolutely 100%. So if these writers are the ones that are bringing it to the screen, I've got hope. Because, I mean, come on. If you do a property like Sonic the Hedgehog, you do it so well that you continue to keep Jim Carrey coming back out of retirement, you're doing a good job. So I'm like, absolutely. So that gives me hope that we're not going to get craziness. It's going to be focused on the characters and their stories and not about other external stuff in the real world, which is what we want. We want more of the same, like we didn't get with He-Man. We didn't get what we wanted with He-Man. And there was a lot of backlash for that, wasn't there? So they've got to stay focused and give us what we remember. And at this point, vaguely. I do remember watching episodes of the show. I do remember I had a copied VHS of the movie. And I can remember images. I can't even remember the voices, but I do remember it. And I enjoyed it. And it's back when, Rainbow Brite, she loved rainbows. Why she loved rainbows? Because she loves rainbows. End of sentence. No other reason. She loves rainbows. So she's Rainbow Brite. That's what I like. And Moritz has also worked with Fast and the Furious and The Boys. So that leaves me a little pause. Only because those are some... Honestly, I don't think I've seen anything past Fast and the Furious 3 or 4. I remember seeing the first one and Tokyo Drift and a couple others. But I've not kept up with the series of movies. It's just kind of like, oh, this is still going. I'm kind of, I'm out of my 20s now. I'm done with the super fast car phase of my life. So, but The Boys, whoo. That is not a show for most people. Whew. That's a rough show. I mean, it's rough. I mean, everything in that is just kind of like... It doesn't push the boundaries as much as the comic, but it pushes the boundaries for visual media for sure. So that gives me a little pause. I mean, you have to accept that. If that's your writing credit, that gives you a little pause. But it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Because he did such a good job with Sonic, and know that, hey, the Sonic people, the internet bullied the studio into fixing how Sonic looked. And it was for the best. So I think they're going to probably go in with that knowledge that since they worked on that project, hey, we got to do this right or it's going to tank. And they're going to have to do it in a certain way. And that way is characters, story, no modern audience. It'll be successful. It will be. Because I guarantee you, if you get kids to like Rainbow Brite again, that's awesome. Because, I grew up watching it, and that makes me old. Yeah, that makes me old. Thus the gray. Yeah, a bit old, but hey, Rainbow Brite was good. It was sweet. It was family friendly. And it wasn't like, oh, well, you watch a show that's meant for girls. It's really meant for children. Yes, it had a female protagonist, but it wasn't like exclusively for girls. It was a kid's show. It had a lot of female characters. We didn't have a problem with that. I still don't have a problem with that show. Don't. But it looks like on this article and a couple others I read, I was just trying to figure out where's it coming out. The show is going to be geared towards more children, to give them kind of a show to watch and to bring them into the world of Rainbow Brite, which is great. And it looks like they're going to gear the movie towards my generation, the Gen Xers, the Zennials, the elder millennials that grew up watching the show to remind us of our childhood. Basically, it's going to be nostalgia bait, and I'm here for it. I'm all in. I'm so confused I can't even get my phrases straight. I'm in. I loved Rainbow Brite. I'm not going to lie to you. But because if it was any other property from that time, I wouldn't be worried. If this was Muppet Babies, I wouldn't be so worried. If this was Fraggle Rock, or if this was anything else in that era, I wouldn't be worried so much. But the fact that it's Rainbow just makes me think the storm on social media, if they don't make it super alphabet friendly, that they're going to get slammed for it. But here's the thing. This was a show before all that ever existed. So injecting modernity into nostalgia has never worked well. It hasn't. And like I said before, He-Man's the perfect example of that. Oh my gosh. I mean, they didn't even learn their lesson from the stinking Transformers movie when there was backlash when they killed Optimus Prime. So spoiler alert, when Kevin Smith gets a hold of He-Man, he kills off He-Man in one of the first two episodes of the show, He-Man Masters of the Universe. Yeah, they brought him back eventually, but hey, I barely made it to that point. I was just like, what am I watching? And I'm OCD, so if I start a season, I have to finish it. And it frustrates me. But it just blew my mind. Like, why? I mean, I grew up, I had tons of He-Man toys. I had a Rainbow Brite doll. Not gonna lie, plush. I also had a Hulk Hogan wrestling buddy. So, come on. You like the stuff you like. It doesn't mean anything. It's just the stuff you like. So don't get me wrong. And I also had, what was it? My Pet Monster. I mean, heck yeah, I had a My Pet Monster. This is great stuff. Love the 80s. Man, the 80s were great. 80s were great. And that nostalgia is just, with Stranger Things is pushing that 80s stuff. Let's see what we can do. But this isn't so much nostalgia bait as more of a celebration of the 40th anniversary of Rainbow Brite. And that's what we got to take from this. This is a celebration of Crayola and Hallmark bringing their IP back to the screen, which is great. Let's just do it right. Can we do it right, please? Because this is that one. This is that one that I've always worried about when they bring it to what we will get. Because I kept seeing, they're pulling all these old properties. I mean, like, what was it? What was it? The Space Cowboys. I can't remember their names now. Wore the metal suits, and they had cowboys, and then the metal horses. They went through space. The Thunderstars? I don't even remember now. But I keep thinking of all these different properties and stuff I watched as a kid and read as a kid. What's going to happen? But this is the one. This is the one that they can easily destroy just because it has rainbows in it. And that may be very reactionary. I understand that. But my reaction to and my concern to this is not without merit, as we can see across any platform, any television station, any streaming service, any movie theater. Pick one. I can show you reasons for my concern. So that's just my take. I don't know. Of all the articles I read, nothing has given a timeline to when these will be released or where they will be released. But I'll keep you guys updated because it's Rainbow Brite, and this is part of my childhood, and you ruined my childhood. I put you on the never watch anything of your projects ever again list. There's a few. 100. So don't ruin our childhood, people. Okay? That's all we're asking. Give us what we want. More of what we had. Not what we had twisted. And just destroyed. No, give us more of what we had. That's how you make money. That's how you get renewed interest in it of the older generation and newer generations. Give us what we had because we know what it is and we're willing to go to that. But that's my take. May not be everybody's take, but that's my take. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are just staunch against this, and I understand that. Believe me, I've seen some of this stuff. You know, I thought the Dark Crystal series was incredible, and I can't believe it got canceled after a series. I thought it was wonderful, and so invested in the series, and we never got a second season. Netflix, fix it. So yeah, it can be done, but it's got to be done well, because if you don't do it well, it'll fail. And you can blame everybody what you want, but when a car breaks down because something the manufacturer did, you can't blame the driver and the purchaser of the vehicle when it was the manufacturer's fault. You can't blame the crowd for the show and movie you made if no one goes and sees it. Will it be a cult classic? Who knows? We've got plenty of those. They sell out theaters for people to go watch The Room. Okay? The worst movie ever made. It's bad. Hi, Mark. You know, it's bad, but it's good bad. So we don't want to make a cult classic with this IP. We want to make it bloom and blossom to be something we remember and continue to remember and share with our kids and share with our grandkids. Oh, I'm close to grandkids, aren't I? I better not be close to grandkids. I'm looking at my daughter right now. I better not be close to grandkids. I'm too young for grandkids. I'm just joking. As a parent, you just got to joke with your family and loved ones. But, well, that's all the info that I've got, and there's more information on this, blah, 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 that just talks about more of what I've already talked about, but the article is on Giant Freaking Robot. There's also plenty on Variety, People, and there's various other places, but I'll put a link to this article specifically since I'm the one this is the one I went off of. So, absolutely, 100%, bring back Rainbow Brite and bring it back correct. So until next time, my friends, as always, I love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it.